At the start of March, both J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs predicted gold would soon hit $3,000 per ounce. By the middle of March, it had happened. Call the proud Americans of the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer 7 years in a row. Call 888-753-1647. Good evening. I'm still reporting on the good news of ending the Fed. Last month, Republican Senator Mike Lee from Utah and Representative Thomas Massie from Kentucky took a bold step by reintroducing legislation to put an end to the Federal Reserve, the central banking system of the United States. Their proposal, known as the Federal Reserve Board Abolition Act, seeks to dissolve the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System and all Federal Reserve banks within a year. This bill also aims to repeal the original legislation from 1913 that established the Federal Reserve to manage U.S. monetary policy. The End the Fed bill would finally put an end to manipulative monetary policy, which generally has supported left-wing administrations with largely anti-American policies. President Donald Trump criticized Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell on Thursday for not cutting interest rates and said he could fire him if he wanted to. At a press conference on Thursday with Italian Prime Minister Meloni, Trump said, "If I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me." Powell has asserted that the Fed is independent of political pressures and therefore Trump's suggestions. Our independence is a matter of law. We're not removable except for cause. Well, if the president doesn't like you, then that's sufficient cause, coming as it does from the singular head of the executive branch. Otherwise, the Fed would become a fourth branch of governance, but one that supersedes any or all of the other three branches. The reintroduction of this bill comes at a time when former President Donald Trump has expressed interest in gaining more control over the Federal Reserve's decisions regarding monetary policy. Senators Lee and Massie have been vocal advocates for ending the Federal Reserve's independence, arguing that the central bank has mismanaged the economy and played a role in the rise in inflation that many Americans are currently experiencing. Their efforts have even garnered support from high-profile figures, including entrepreneur Elon Musk. In an interview, Senator Lee stated, "The Federal Reserve has not only failed to achieve its mandate, but it has also become an economic manipulator, directly contributing to the financial instability many Americans face today. We need to protect our economic future in the monetization of federal debt that fuels unchecked federal spending and put American money on solid ground. We need to end the Fed." So what does the term monetizing federal debt mean? When Congress wants to spend more money than it has, the Constitution has given them permission to borrow money on the credit of the United States. This was the primary mistake made by the Founding Fathers when they wrote the Constitution. Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution grants Congress and only Congress the power to borrow money on the credit of the United States. But in 1913, Congress passed the Federal Reserve Act, which gave the Fed a crucial role in managing the country's monetary policy, supposedly to ensure stable financial conditions. But handing out the management of the banking system over to bankers was not what the Constitution intended, and the results were predictable. The Fed now has become politicized, and that politicization no longer favors an America First policy. Representative Massie echoed these concerns, emphasizing that Americans have suffered due to crippling inflation, which he attributes to the Federal Reserve's actions. Monetizing debt is a closely coordinated effort between the Federal Reserve, Treasury Department, Congress, big banks, and Wall Street. Through this process, retirees see their savings evaporate due to the actions of a central bank pursuing inflationary policies that benefit the wealthy and connected. If we really want to reduce inflation, the most effective policy is to end the Federal Reserve. I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of world freedom. Good day.